Okay, today we are going to perform web scraping on this website. This website is a Worldmeter website, and we are going to find the details of coronavirus in India. So, w- first of all, you might ask what is web scraping and why do we actually need it. So, web scraping is nothing but scraping. As the name suggests, we are going to scrape the data from the website, right? And why should we even think about web scraping, right? Because web scraping is very important in the cases where if you want to get the data which is being displayed in the websites, and there are no APIs for that. For example, in this case we have an APIs to get this, but instead of doing that, if we perform web scraping, it is very simple than using APIs, and this can be used for any element. See, it can be used for any element. Using web scraping, we can scrape each and every point from this website. So this might be useful in custom use cases where we don't need a particular data, we are looking for some different kind of data. So that is where web scraping comes into the picture. So let's start this small project, and for that we are going to use Python for the web scraping. And in Python there is this module called as beautiful soap. Okay, it is in BS4. We are going to import beautiful soup. So beautiful soup enables us to do these tasks. It is a module in Python that is related to web scraping. And we also need to import requests. The request is used to generally make a request. So what exactly does web scraping do? So in that, we're going to select a target URL, right? And using this request library, we are going to using this request library. Sorry, so the name is request. Using this request library, we are going to pull the data from the website. So the data that we are going to pull is the code of this website. So you inspect this, right? So this is the code of this data, right? We are going to pull entire code into our Python program. So for that, we are going to set a target URL. So the target URL is this. So we are targeting this website, right? So we are going to use this. So once we have once we set our target URL, right? So we need to get the response from the website. For that, we are going to use a request library. And in request library, there is this function called as get. And if I pass a URL into this, so this request library going to make a HTTP request to this website, and it will get me the code of this data, right? So if I see response, then it will be a big one. So let me just print first 100 characters of this response. The response object is not subscriptable. Yes, okay. So if I let me just inspect what are these present. So there should be something called as text. Okay. So if I use text, then I'm going to get the text response dot text, and I will see the first 100 of this code. Yeah, you can see this is the exact code on which this website is being written. If I see, right, so this is the exact thing. If IE8, so this is the exact code. So now that we have the code, then we need to convert this into a soup object. So for that, let's say mm, BS object is equal to beautiful soup of our response dot text, and so we need to use a library so that we'll understand what data it is actually working with. So since it is HTML5, we're going to use HTML5 live. Response object has no attribute text. Sorry, it has to be text. Okay, so now if you see what is a BS, then it says it is a beautiful soap object. So it has all the code, but it is written in the form of actual HTML code. It is in a structured format. And if I inspect what is the type of this BS, it says that it is a beautiful shape object type. Okay, so now we have this object. uh, from that we need, what do we need actually? So we need to find what are the total corona cases. So for that, we generally we do this, perform this trick. We do this selector object, and we go to the place on which we want. So if I go here, then I can see that it is inside a division of main number, main counter number, and which is in main counter wrap. It is also in main counter wrap. This is also in main counter wrap. So it looks like these three objects which we need are in this main counter wrap. So what I will do, I will find all this. Now I will scrape all these containers, and from that we can get this data. So let's say uh, details is equal to bs dot find all. So find all will do finding of all, and it will take a name. So what is the tag that we are trying to find? So we are trying to identify division tag. So we are going to use the div, and it also takes some attributes in the form of dictionary. So what are the attributes? What are the attributes for this? So we can observe that the attribute is it has a class. A class is main counter of wrap. Main counter of wrap. Main counter of wrap, or we can also give main counter of number, right? So yeah, everything is in inside a class, and the class name is main count main counter main counter number. Yeah. So now if I run this, and if I check what are the details that I am getting, yeah, so we are getting a list of divisions. So I'm having 4 divisions, sorry, 3 divisions. These 3 divisions are one related to this and this. So here we are able to simply get the data, right? We are able to fetch the data. Now if I check what is the type of these details, right? So the detail is result set. Now I can simply iterate through this for I in let's generate a tr object, iter object. Let's say iter of details. So now this is an iter object, and let's also create a list so that we can push these elements. Okay, so we have created a list. Now what I will do, I will traverse for I in tr. Uh, let's say a is equal to, so what is our I? uh, let's create a new code element here. Okay, print details. Okay, so if I print details, then it has a division tag, and this also has span tag. So what we actually need is span tag, right? So for I in this, for every element we need to find I dot find of find will take simply again the same thing. It will take a span, and we're going to see what are the contents. Span dot contents of 0, and let me just print a here. Okay, so we are able to get these numbers. So but as you can observe, these are in text, and there are some white spaces also. So let's clean the text. So let's say a is equal to a dot strip. This will get rid of both the white spaces on the left and right, and we also no need of commas, right? A is equal to a dot replace of commas with null. Now now I think it's everything is all right. Now we can say a is equal to int of a, and we can push this into our list a, right? So if I remove this print statement, and put it here. Then we can see that we are able to get the data. So what is present in our list? So now we are able to get the data. And if I can run this program for multiple times. If one thing you have observed in this website, right? So there are total cases, there are deaths, and there are records. But the thing that is missing is number of active cases. And to be honest, active cases is the thing which is most important than this all. So since we have this data, we can simply calculate that, right? So let's do the labeling. So active cases is equal to, we don't know what is active cases. Let's hope that someday the active cases will be zero, and total cases total cases are li of 0. Now we have everything here, we have all the cases. Now we can simply do this print uh, active cases slash active cases, copy a. Now we should have entire data, right? This data is being pulled from the internet, so it will be up to date. And so one thing to remember is that the application of web scraping is very large than you think. Let me give a simple example here. So now that we have a script that scrapes this website and finds what are the parameters of this COVID cases, right? So we can do something like we can write an automated script which checks for these cases every 10 minutes, or let's say we set a cron job of, let's say, every 30 minutes what are the cases and all. So we can draw a graph, or and we can simply generate a data set on our own. So we can create a big database of these cases. We can create a timeline series, so that can be later used for the purposes like machine learning and all, because data is priceless, right? So this is how you perform this, and this is how the web scraping is done. So I also have one other example here, so I want to show that. Uh, let's see this example. So this is the another script which I written. So let me just copy this and paste it here, and I don't need this libraries. So this script is going to pull the data from IMDb website. So if you go into IMDb top 20, so this is a list of top 250 movies. So this script is going to simply, as we did in the previous problem, right? We are going to find children. I directly found I, so we are going to try and find the children. Let me just print it so that it will be very clear, easier for you. So yeah, this is what the script does. The script scrapes this website, IMDb website, and it will spit out what are the top 250 images, top 250 movies from the IMDb. So these are two examples that explain you the power of web scraping. And web scraping is much more than a beautiful soup. There are many frameworks like which are built especially for web scraping. So I hope you like this video. There will be an article and a code in the description. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.